second trailer for Avengers Endgame dropped out of nowhere on March 14th. Let's take a closer look at the latest trailer and break down what we think is going to happen in Endgame. Who will live? Who will die? How many hairstyle changes are there in one movie? And for more on Endgame, be sure to subscribe to GameSpot Universe as we'll have a lot more videos coming your way. Now, let's jump in. The new Marvel trailer gave us a few bits of information about the new movie, but started with where it all began with Iron Man. First, we see Tony Stark in the Mach 1 Iron Man suit from the 2008 film, which is now 11 years old. Stark can be heard discussing his life as the superhero.
I fought my way out of that cave, became Iron Man. Realized I loved you.
Much like other flashback moments, everything is in black and white, with certain things highlighted red. Stark is leaving a message for the love of his life, Pepper Potts, as he's aboard a ship floating through space. He doesn't think he's going to make it back home, or maybe he just doesn't think he'll see Pepper again, or maybe she's been dusted. This may be for his own sanity more than anything else, just to get his feelings out into the ether. From the previous trailer, we know both Nebula and Tony Stark are trapped on the ship at least early on in the film, but as we find out later, they eventually make it back to Earth. Or is this trailer lying to us? Here's a scene of Steve Rogers before he became Captain America, when he wanted to join the military for World War II, but was too weak to do so. The red stripes on the American flag are highlighted here. We can hear Peggy Carter's voice from Captain America the Winter Soldier, telling Steve that the world has changed and none of us can go back. Looks like we're finally going to know what happened to Hawkeye's family during Infinity War. There's a scene with Clint Barton and his daughter Lila enjoying the outdoors. Lila is practicing archery and hits a bullseye. This appears to take place early on or in the beginning of the movie. Notice that Clint has his old haircut. Hawkeye's absence from Infinity War was explained as being on house arrest, and it does look like there's an ankle bracelet on his ankle. We're pretty sure he goes rogue and becomes Ronin because his whole family gets dusted. Peggy's voiceover says the best that we can do is to start over, as we see Clint as Ronin grabbing Nat's hand. You may remember that Steve Rogers was a pallbearer at Peggy Carter's funeral. This scene happened during Captain America Civil War in 2016. We cut to Asgard, which was destroyed in Thor Ragnarok, and see Odin with his son Thor, whose cape is in red in this flashback. In a spoilery move for a trailer, we see Falcon and Scarlet Witch get dusted at the end of Infinity War. Steve and Nat talk in a meeting room. Nat's hair is noticeably longer and her red hair is back. Also, Steve is shaved. This indicates a big time difference from the Captain Marvel post-credits scene. Scott Lang looks at a post with a bunch of missing flyers on it. Because of Scott's bewildered look, this takes place right after Scott escapes the quantum realm. However, here's something to think about. He had to have been stuck in the quantum realm for months or maybe even a year. The missing signs on the post look pretty beat up, and that doesn't happen overnight. We see Black Widow and Hawkeye hold hands in an earlier shot, but don't think this is Clint cheating on his wife. She's consoling Clint like a good friend. She's there for him in his time of need because his family was dusted. Rocket and War Machine? Yes, please. This is such an odd scene because it's not a team-up we would have ever expected. No clue why War Machine is glowing red here. Could it be a kill mode? And here's a nice shot of Clint's haircut. Hopefully we get to see the scene of Hawkeye cutting his own hair, because he totally did it himself, right? Thor returns fully powered like at the end of Infinity War with his new weapon Stormbreaker. It's like his old hammer Mjolnir, but with a sweet axe blade on the side. We see Ant-Man in action for a brief moment, and around him is fiery carnage, as a shrunken Scott Lang rides a pencil. Could this be when Scott returns to Earth? Before we get the title card, there are a few shots of the new Avengers team in brand new outfits. Why are they in matching outfits like this? Well, that's probably a plot point, like they need to travel through time by going through the quantum realm, or they're all just heading into space. If you've seen Captain Marvel and watched the mid-credits scene, you know that Carol Danvers makes it back to Earth. We see her first meeting with Thor, where the God of Thunder calls his weapon to his hand, and Danvers doesn't flinch.
I like this one.
Also, that's not Mjolnir. If you pause the trailer at the exact right moment, which took some time to do, you can clearly see that Thor's weapon here is still Stormbreaker, not Mjolnir. I think it's time for all of us to accept that Thor's original hammer is gone forever. And before we go, take a look at this movie poster. Taking a look at the cast for Endgame, you can see Benedict Wong and Jon Favreau are in the movie. Favreau has played Happy Hogan in the Iron Man movies and popped up in Spider-Man Homecoming. Wong played, coincidentally, Wong in Doctor Strange and Infinity War. We hadn't seen either of them in the Endgame trailers. Be sure to subscribe to GameSpot Universe for more Endgame videos coming your way. Let us know what you thought about the new trailer in the comments below. Avengers Endgame releases April 26th.